Hi, welcome back to Making It with Mingley. Today we are going to be looking at page 27. And I have been working on this newspaper for several days now. And anytime I had paint left over, I have been using it to a palette knife and spread it out. And it's starting to get quite interesting. So I kind of wanted to see if I could go ahead and while I've still got my paints on my desk, I thought I would just throw a few more splashes of color on it. So we're going to use bright magenta, and I'm just putting small amounts because I'm not going to be going all over it, but I'm just going to spread it randomly. No rhyme, reason, just it's like finger painting when you're a kid. You just start pushing the paint around, and it dries kind of quick, and you can skip your palette knife across it and get a different look. That's some skipping. It's like hopscotch with your palette knife. There's still a little bit right there, so let's turn it around and look at it from a different angle. And I see that this right here might need a little bit more paint, so I'm going to rub some in there. And I've got a few pieces of washi. This is the paper that I worked on when I did a craft at the library this week. I'm going to show it to you real quick. The theme of the class is to use washi tape, so that's why the leaves are like they are. But this was made out of a cardboard egg carton, and there's a bunch of YouTubes on it, but I thought it turned out pretty cute. It's too bulky to use for a journal, but I do believe that if you took just the one single, you could make like a dog would. But this was the paper I worked on. I don't take the newspaper, so I don't usually have newspapers to play with. But they're actually, newsprint paper is not bad to work on. I've got this turquoise here. I'm going to add a little more of that. I'm trying to use some nice spring colors. There is a little bit of black. I needed it to make my eye on my dragon, which was a surprising piece of art to me. It's like, okay, you never know what's going to inspire you, really. Okay. And that's not completely covered, but I feel like it's covered enough. If I go to use it in a project and it is not, if I need to cover something up, I can always come back and add some. Matter of fact, let's do it. Let's just do it now. Ooh, wait a minute. This was a pretty green. Let's put a little bit. Let's do a few little dots of this green. Maybe. It says, no, I don't want to play. And you can get it on the edge, and you can make like cross hatches. That, I probably got too much on that one. Repeating patterns. Random, random, random. A flat surface is probably better. Of course, you can also put stencils under here if you wanted to and come out with some impressions. But we don't have stencils out at the moment. Although, I could grab some pretty quick. But look at these lovely spring colors. Alright, this is going to have to dry, of course. So we're not going to use it today. But it's going to be used soon. I've got some pages coming up that are kind of empty by comparison to some of the others. Alright, that looks like it's pretty good. What I try to do is to get it spread thin enough that it really doesn't have to have much time to dry. And that way I can just hang it up on the clothesline behind me and let it do its thing. And then when I'm ready to use it, it'll be ready for me. So we are on page 27. And page 27, where I used a Sharpie on it when I did the dragon, it carried over. So it is a page that's going to need some help. Now, what kind of help we're going to give it is uncertain, but I'm leaning towards maybe using this piece right here. So let me measure this and see what size we've got. Let's get a ruler that we can actually read. Okay. It is roughly about, if I cut it at 5.5 by 8.5. Okay, it's going to be a 5.5 by 8.5. Pencils of rights, Miss Mingus. Alright, 5.5 by 8.5. And I write it down because I forget very quickly what I'm doing, what I need to be doing. Alright, so we need a paper cutter. And I can use just the small one, but I will go grab the big one. Give me just a second, it's within arm's reach. Okay, so we're going to go 5.5 by 8.5. And I'm going to do it this way so that I have this, sorry about my phone. Apparently my daughter has a flat tire, and she's in Florida, so she's going to have to go by and get that thing fixed. Alright, 5.5 by 8.5. And I'm going to cut this end off because I like the other end. Oops. Oh, look at that. It's almost exactly the size it needs to be. Ooh! That was lucky. Who knew? I didn't know. Alright, let's lock this bad boy up. Put it back in the little hidey hole. Things have gotten a little easier for me as I clean up as I go. It's so much easier than trying to do it the other way. It really is. Alright, so we're going to just art glitter glue this down. If you have glue sticks would work really well for this. But I do not have a glue stick on my desk at the moment, so we're just going to roll with this. And we're going to put it down. And I'm going to allow a little bit of the tabby part of this to hang off. I'm okay with that. And that's going to cover up where I had the marker to come through. And I'm trying to rub it out the wrinkles or little humps. It's not going to really matter either way. Now, one thing I'm thinking about is on the roses, you know, whether I want to paint the roses or how I want to do them. And I'm not real sure on that. But, and decide what quote I want to use. Okay, I'm looking at the ones from my hauls, and I've got some that I have not used. Seize the day. I think that's going to be our thing that we're going to do. We're going to put seize the day on it. And I'm going to put a dot there. SEIZE I'm working on my lettering. I've been watching videos of people that seem to have a knack for making things interesting with their lettering. So I am trying to switch it up a little bit and do some different things. Alright, that works. Seize the day. And we're going to put that number 27 down here. And I will go over this with, I think, maybe a Crayola marker, because it will not bleed through. I think this paper is probably thick enough that it'll be okay. We'll see. And I'm going to put this here. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to put it over here because I see something in this one. I see. We have a whale. Look at that. We got a little whale here. You never know what you're going to find, right? And we're going to make a school of fish here. And this whale's going to seize its opportunity for its next meal. So life goes. It's a circle of life. And we're going to just fake that part. I wonder if I can kind of make its tail. Make it a tail. Well, I can get paint all over my hands. Let's have some fun. not even going to try to be neat about it. Just incorporate it here. Make it look like it was part of the happy accident. Someday I hope to see a real whale. I've never seen one. I've seen dolphins plenty of times at the beach, but I've never seen a whale. Never been anywhere that watching whales was a thing. I guess when I finally make it to Alaska, that's when I'll see one. Hopefully. If we're there at the right season. Who knows? That's one of those things. We keep looking at it and it's like, no, not this year, not this year. But someday we're going to seize the day and we're going to make those reservations and we're going to be either going to Alaska or Hawaii. We're getting down to just a few states left to meet our goal, so okay. Do I need to have one that goes that way too? For some reason I think that might be correct. There we go. Now I've got enough paint left. I'll paint day since I'm already painting. And this is just acrylic paint, folks. It's nothing special. It's what I get with my grocery order from Walmart. And yes, I used to think that I was just being lazy. But when they first started delivering, I had just had major back surgery, and they told me I was going to be in bed for 6 weeks. So it seemed like a good idea at the time, and it has saved me so much energy, time and energy, physical energy, doing it, that we decided that it was probably best just to keep doing it. And one thing it does prevent is impulse buying. You know, I sit down, I plan my menus, I order my food, and that's that. You know, I very seldom go in a store. If for some reason they're out of what I need, I may go in a Walmart, but for the most part they put it up on my front porch, and so all I have to do is open the front door and then put the groceries up, instead of having to lug them up steps or up the sidewalk. It really has helped us a lot. So it just makes life a little easier. That's energy saved for other things, other important things. Let's see if I can do this. Maybe. Maybe. Just maybe. You can tell I'm concentrating when I get quiet. All right. I think I want this to pop a little bit more than it's popping. All right. So there we have it. Seize the day. And I got to figure out what color I want to do my little fish. They could be any color. Maybe orange. Maybe they'll be little orange fish. Or should I do them green? think we'll do them this little green right here. Simple, childlike little fish. There you go. And that's okay with me. This is a happy seize the day. So while I'm on this piece of paper, I'm going to go ahead and be smart. And I'm going to grab what do I want to grab? I think I'm going to grab this silly brush right here. And pounce. All right. We'll put our little fish in some water while we're here. Just add to the creative process. All right. So there we have it. We've got day 27 in the books. And I will probably do this with colored pencils and then switch over to our next page, which is 28. So there we have it, seize the day. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go out and seize the day. I'm going to enjoy the sunshine and enjoy good health. Until next time, be well, my friends. Bye-bye.